Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a press on nail set, and it's not any ordinary press on nail set. Today we're making a set for me to actually wear. So I'm going to show you quickly the products I'm going to be using and then a little bit of backstory behind the design that I'm doing today. So I've got white and I've also got like a nude shade. That one's called Shaka from Madam Glam. We do have a Nail Reserve gel polish called Be My, I think it said Beauty there, and it's a really, no, it said Be My Baby. It's a gorgeous pink, and I am also going to do a little bit of stamping, so that's the stamping plate I'm going to use today. And of course, along with that, I need my stamping polishes. So we've got a black, a pink, and also a green, as we will be focusing on the cherry images of the stamping plate. So but we're going for a pink theme, so the cherries are going to be pink. So that's how I apply my nude base across all 5 nails. Today's design was picked out by my fiance, so I actually had a load of tabs. I often do this to myself. I open up a lot of tabs, and I get stuck with what I really want to be making and doing. So some days it actually helps me out a lot, and other days it just gets me even more stuck, and I just kind of fall into this hole that I can't get myself out of. So I asked if he could go through my tabs and pick a set that he wants me to recreate for myself, or if there's a couple of designs he likes, I can kind of blend them into one set and make something unique and different. And he fell in love with this set that I'm going to make today, so we are completely recreating. This is a complete recreation of a set by Honey Nails XO. So she's actually got an Etsy store, so she does a lot of press on nails on there, and I definitely highly recommend checking her out because she's got a lot of really cute designs. So if you like the design I'm doing today, she's got pretty much the exact design almost on her shop, and also a lot of very similar nice looking designs. So she will definitely be a shop for you guys to check out for sure. So and her prices are very reasonable as well. But when it comes to the design, it's very beginner friendly in my opinion. I did decide to opt for some bits like the cherries, doing them from an actual stamping plate. One, because I just don't want to do it by hand. If I can have something that's going to give me a perfect cherry, I'll opt for that. But if you were to do it by hand, it's a very simple, I think, easy cherry to do if you follow through with what she's done on her shop, for example. But I want to do a stamping one, and just to kind of make it a little bit different, just ever so slightly, rather than creating a full-on recreation. So as you can see, I'm kind of picking out sides where I'm doing these pink little squiggly lines and then colouring that fragment of the nail. So with the pinky, we started at the top, the left hand side, the next nail was on the opposite side, and so on. And sometimes I manage to do these squiggly lines a bit wrong, so I do end up wiping it off and redoing it, which is what you guys just saw there. I do like to leave these moments in because nothing is ever perfect, and especially with nail art, I feel like the amount of times I'm wiping something down, like I am never perfect with what I'm doing, so sometimes it does take a couple of tries. So I'm going to continue doing that. And with the Nail Reserve gel polish, it's not often a colour or company that really features on my channel. I have a very small amount of their gel polishes anyways, but I am so used to Madam Glam gel polishes that I just fell in love with their consistency, and I just kind of like to stick to what I know. This gel polish is gorgeous. It's just the consistency for me that I'm just not used to. It's a bit more of a thicker one. It levels out beautifully though, so there's no issues with that. It was just more, I just kind of got really stuck in my ways. But I am trying to explore different companies and different, mix and matching and stuff, and trying to stop being so stuck with one brand, because there's so many other brands that definitely deserve a chance, and I'm basically here for it now to give them a chance and really, explore my options out there rather than sticking with one thing. We're almost done with the pink. We'll pop it into Lamp for a Cure. Off camera real quick, I'll do another coat of the pink, although saying that, it's such a nice full coverage pink that really might have not needed it, but I just still done it, especially because I know I'll be wearing it. So whenever there's sets that I do make for wearing, I do make sure to do the 2 coats, even if it's sometimes unnecessary, just to make sure that there's no issues later on. And you kind of want to repeat that with the white, but not on every single nail. So some nails stay just with the pink, some have the pink and the white like we do here, and then the middle nail I am going to do a French tip on. which you're going to see now. I start off with the French tip with doing a line roughly where I want that smile line to be, and then I drag 2 lines, one on either side, to the corners to create that arch, that smile line and the French tip kind of look, and then I just fill in the bottom part. I know that was a very quick, and I probably made it sound very simple and easy. I've got years of experience with doing French tip now, so it just comes very easy to me, and I can just envision, and I know how to bend my brush and everything like that to create it in one quick swoop. But I do have a couple videos on my channel kind of walking you through different methods of doing a French tip, or also the different styles of French tips and how to make them. So definitely check that out if you are still struggling with your French tips. But yeah, there's the French tip there, and also with the white I do go ahead and do another coat off camera too. I am trying to get some bubbles. I don't know why I was getting bubbles when I was applying the white. I was getting quite a lot of bubbles, but we're on the last nail now with the thumb. Again, just a squiggly line, color it in, and off it goes into the lamp for a cure. Once it's out, we will go ahead and do some stamping. So grab your stamping jellies out now, and don't do that. So I'm gonna have to wipe that off and redo that little corner there. But yes, grab your jellies. So to be efficient today, I took 2 of my jellies. One's from Moyu London, and the other is also from Moyu London, funny enough. I didn't actually realise. But yes, I've got 2. So I've got like one rounded one. I've got a square / rectangle looking one. I kind of prefer the round ones, but they both work just fine. So is what it is. But that way I can be a bit more efficient, because once I pick up the stencil off the cherry, once I create a little blob of the colour that I want to then colour in the cherry on my palette, often I always place way too much. By accident, it always happens to me, and every time I try and tell myself do a little bit, and I do a little bit, it still seems to always be too much. So not to waste anything or try and be a bit more eco with my products, I'm going to obviously pick it up twice, pop one blob down and colour it in. So we're going to start off with the green, and using a brush, ideally a bit more of a small short brush I find best personally. You want to colour in the bits that you want to colour in. So for me it will be those leaves today with this nice bright light green, and that's on both cherries. Both cherries are going to be identical. And then and also just like I did there actually, where I placed the green where I don't want it, I'll just wait for it to dry and then kind of tap it away with my nail or just a card or anything I've got to hand. Or if I wanted to, I could just go ahead and stamp it and just wipe it off the nail later as well. But with the pink from Born Pretty, it's a bit of like a pearly pink, but once you stamp it, it doesn't actually give that effect at all, so it's absolutely fine to use in case you're worried about it having this like shimmery pearl look to it. But yeah, here are the cherries. And you know what? I would have probably never picked up a pink for a cherry, but when he picked out that set for me, I just thought it was a really cute set, and I was hung up on it for a little while. And I'm really happy I gave it a go, because the pink cherries are really, really cute. And obviously I know that cherries aren't pink, but it just fits with the set, which is why I like stamping so much too, because you can just colour in anything in whatever colour theme you're going for and have it work with your set, which I think is lovely. Stickers are great, but you know, if you pick up some blue butterfly stickers, if you want them purple, you can't do anything about it. With stamping you can, which is just bliss. I love it. So we're going to stamp the cherries on the thumb and also the ring finger, and I'm kind of trying to focus the cherries more on the white parts and the nude parts, not the pink. The cherries have quite a lot of pink going on, so you don't really want to stamp that there. Once stamped though, you want to grab some more of that white gel polish, and we're going to do a load of dots and a load of stars. Stars and dots are a regular on my channel, so if you've been watching me for a while, you already know the drill, but for my protection, it is in the set that we are recreating. So this wasn't a me thing, this is just the set we're recreating. Here I am cleaning up the thumb, because one of those jellies I didn't use for a little while, and it gathered up a little bit of dust that I didn't notice. So once I stamped, I noticed there was a bunch of sticky, dust particles and little hairs. So it just needed a wipe. So you just have to be careful when doing that. You don't want to wipe over your cherry, because you will wipe it off. And yeah, here we go with those stars and dots. Very repetitive, but a very necessary step, because it instantly makes the set look super cute and a bit more full, and yeah, definitely just way better. So I try to minimize, because I can be quite heavy-handed sometimes with my designs, and what I place on the nails and stuff. So I try to be a little bit more lighter handed and do like just the 2 stars or 3 wherever it needed it, and just a couple of dots and moved on, rather than like packing the nail up with stars when it was just very unnecessary. So we'll continue that across all those nails, and once I'm happy, I'll pop that into lamp for a cure. Then we'll come back and we do have a fragment where we do some charms, and I've got 2 charms going on today. As much as I love charms, and you'll probably know, I've got so much content with crystals and charms, and I'm trying to actually get myself to wear those kind of sets. So before, any of those long stiletto looking designs that I've created on my channel, those were design purposes only, nothing to be worn or anything like that. Well, that's specific set anyways. I have recreated a lot of my sets on actual press-on nails, but whenever I do those stiletto nails, they are not to be worn. They're just to have fun. It's a canvas. I can play around, create some designs and art, and just hopefully inspire you all. That's kind of the purpose of it. And try like new techniques and see what works and what doesn't and that kind of thing. But when it comes to everyday life, charms and crystals would often bother me, but I love the look of them. So I am on a bit of a mission to learn to live with them. I've been wearing a lot of press-on nails recently, like non-stop. So I kind of had to get used to that, which has been just bliss now. I can't live without them. When I take them off, I feel like I've got stubbly nails now and fingers and stuff. So one step forward now it's just slowly ease me into some charms and stuff, and then we'll be basically good to go. I can create some crazy glittery, not really glittery, but you know, crystally charmy nails. And we can have a lot of fun with that. So yeah, this is the last thumb now that we're gonna finish off, and I'll show you the 2 charms. So in the design we're recreating, she's got an actual pink cherry charm, which is gorgeous. I didn't have that, so I started digging through my charm drawers and I found this grape. Now I know it doesn't quite work with the design, but I will never have a chance to pop this pink grape anywhere, and realistically I just did a pink cherry, which doesn't exist, and we're going to place a pink grape that doesn't really exist. So I think it's kind of fitting. So on the middle finger, no, it wasn't middle, it was the index finger, I placed a white bowy glittery charm. It's gorgeous. And then on the middle nail, where the French tip is, you want to do the big grape. Now, if you didn't or wasn't very good at French tips, if you're going to cover it with this charm, honestly, don't even stress, because you can't even tell. As long as you've got your sides about, you know, decent looking, then you're good to go. And I really think the set is looking so cute already. We're going to we're going to glossy top coat these with some Macart gel polish there. And we're going to pop into lamp for a cure, and that'll be basically the set done. I went for a glossy one. I do have a matte set coming soon, which I don't often do on press-ons, but again, just kind of, you know, easing myself in. It's been quite a while for me. I've been on and off on YouTube for a little while now. I'm trying to get back in. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, so sorry that the content isn't going to be too consistent at the moment, but the fact that I'm already recording and editing and creating is already a massive step forward, so hopefully we are on the right tracks. When it comes to doing charms, I try to take any step possible to kind of keep it on there for as long as possible. You know, through my wear and stuff, I will just notice what works and what doesn't, and I can report back and let you know. But for the time being, I am going to apply 2 coats of the top coat just to kind of help that charm kind of stay in place. I'm kind of focusing on placing that top coat quite close, you know, really touching the charms so that it's got like a bit of a border around it. But here are the final results. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'd love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.